you two have this partnership now that was announced a few weeks ago. Tell us, Jonathan, about the partnership between Neste and Victor.
Well, Neste's now producing SAF in increasing quantities with plans to increase our availability by 10 times over the next by the end of next year, and so. Yes, regulation and policy is a crucial element in helping stimulate demand and also encourage the big investments that companies like Neste and other energy companies need to make in the production and sourcing of these renewable waste materials to turn them into a renewable jet fuel and reduce emissions, which is what this is all about at the end of the day in the aviation sector. But what we are producing as Neste is a sustainable aviation fuel where it's independently certified to produce a roughly 80% reduction in net emissions versus using fossil jet fuel. And that's what this is all about, making the SAF available in the market and generating the demand, stimulating the demand. Yes, it costs more than fossil jet fuel, and that's been a real hurdle, especially for the airline industry, which is currently obviously in real financial distress. So this is all about creating the voluntary demand with customers who want to make a difference, reduce their emissions with the transparency that Toby's talked about, and are willing to pay that extra. And so, this is one of the examples, the cooperation between Neste and Victor, where we can help generate a voluntary additional demand with customers who want to make a difference and who can afford the extra cost. And we really hope that this will be an example for the whole of the aviation industry. So commercial airlines are also developing offers for end customers where they can, and corporates, and even for air freight, where they can voluntarily make a contribution to pay for the additional cost of renewable jet fuel, or SAF as we call it. But we really feel that in the business aviation and charter jet segment, we've got an opportunity to take a lead here and now, and we have the product here and now. So this is not about promising something for the future. It's about starting to make a difference today. We can't afford to wait another 10 years.
And that, for me, from the outside of the industry coming into the industry for this air show, it's crucial because Farnborough this year, we don't need to really blow anybody's minds with this, but the UK hit temperatures of 40.3 degrees on Tuesday. These were numbers that were predicted for 2050, which is when this net carbon zero was supposed to be. We're looking at this is the cut-off point really, and we're hitting temperatures that were predicted many years ago now. So now is the time to strike, and we hear politicians saying it so often. Now is the time to strike, and we're going to discuss it for 6 months. And now is the time to strike, and you have the product that is not a temporary solution, but it's a solution we can use right now that will certainly help us achieve things. And Victor, with the company, the link up here, this is something that you've obviously seen and you are willing to act upon right now.
Yeah, to your point, Brian, I mean, in order to get to net zero for 2050, IATA have said that in the middle of last year, IATA said that SAF is going to contribute 65% of the heavy lifting in order to mitigate those emissions. And so, sat in an office full of young people who care deeply about climate change, I had to take responsibility as a leader to ensure that we had a robust, credible, sustainable aviation fuel partner that we could offer to our clients. So that was massively important. And yeah, look, I mean, right now we're seeing it with the conservative leadership battle. There's quite a good chance that net zero initiatives are watered down for political reasons, which are somewhat understandable, but it puts even more onus on partners, private enterprise, to come together and make sure that there are credible solutions available for consumers who actually want to make better decisions. So yeah, that's massively important. Also for us, just on that note, like why we partnered with Neste. They have 3 refineries. They have one in Finland, one in Amsterdam, and one shortly opening in Singapore. They're producing between 170 and 200 gallons of sustainable aviation fuel every hour. So yes, it's great to talk about investments in SAF, further initiatives, wonderful, encourage all of that. But here now today, we have this amazing product that's being produced by a business that's been working on renewable energy since the early 2000s. Like, these guys are experts. I've seen and met firsthand scientists who have been working there for many, many years coming up with this. And so, of course, at this point, it's like, okay, right, how do we create a clever partnership that will allow customers with children, grandchildren who care deeply, but also have the money and able to afford this product to make it accessible? And that's what we've been working on and created through this partnership.